Chapter 1 of A Son of the Middle Border. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. A Son of the Middle Border by Hamlin Garland. Chapter 1 Home from the War. All of this universe known to me in the year 1864 was bounded by the wooded hills of a little Wisconsin coulee, and its center was the cottage in which my mother was living alone. My father was in the war. As I project myself back into that mystical age, half-lights cover most of the valley. The road before our doorstone begins and ends in vague obscurity, and Grandma Green's house at the fork of the trail stands at the very edge of the world, in a sinister region peopled with bears and other menacing creatures. Beyond this point, all is darkness and terror. It is Sunday afternoon, and my mother and her 3 children, Frank, Harriet, and I, all in our best dresses, are visiting the Widow Green, our nearest neighbor, a plump, jolly woman whom we greatly love. The house swarms with stalwart men and buxom women, and we are all sitting around the table, heaped with the remains of a harvest feast. The women are telling fortunes by means of tea grounds. Mrs. Green is the seeress. After shaking the cup with the grounds at the bottom, she turns it bottom side up in a saucer. Then whirling it 3 times to the right and 3 times to the left, she lifts it and silently studies the position of the leaves which cling to the sides of the cup, what time we all wait in breathless suspense for her first word. "A soldier is coming to you," she says to my mother. "See," and she points into the cup. We all crowd near, and I perceive a leaf with a stem sticking up from its body, like a bayonet over a man's shoulder. "He is almost home," the widow goes on. Then with sudden dramatic turn, she waves her hand toward the road. "Heavens and earth!" she cries. "There's Richard now." We all turn and look toward the road, and there indeed is a soldier with a musket on his back, wearily plodding his way up the low hill just north of the gate. He is too far away for Mother to call, and besides, I think she must have been a little uncertain, for he did not so much as turn his head toward the house. Trembling with excitement, she hurries little Frank into his wagon, and telling Hattie to bring me, sets off up the road as fast as she can draw the baby's cart. It all seems like a dream to me, and I move dumbly, almost stupidly, like one in a mist. We did not overtake the soldier, that is evident, for my next vision is that of a blue-coated figure leaning upon the fence, studying with intent gaze our empty cottage. I cannot even now precisely divine why he stood thus, sadly contemplating his silent home, but so it was. His knapsack lay at his feet, his musket was propped against a post, upon whose top a cat was dreaming, unmindful of the warrior and his folded hands. He did not hear us until we were close upon him, and even after he turned, my mother hesitated, so thin, so hollow-eyed, so changed was he. "Richard, is that you?" she quaveringly asked. His worn face lighted up, his arms rose. "Yes, Belle, here I am," he answered. Nevertheless, though he took my mother in his arms, I could not relate him to the father I had heard so much about. To me he was only a strange man with big eyes and careworn face. I did not recognize in him anything I had ever known. But my sister, who was 2 years older than I, went to his bosom of her own motion. She knew him, whilst I submitted to his caresses rather for the reason that my mother urged me forward than because of any affection I felt for him. Frank, however, would not even permit a kiss. The gaunt and grizzled stranger terrified him. "Come here, my little man," my father said. "My little man." Across the space of half a century I can still hear the sad reproach in his voice. "Won't you come and see your poor old father when he comes home from the war?" My little man.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?